I figured we would see a little bit of Constantinople on our way. We're pretty close. Oh shoot, we're pretty close to what's it called? No, Hagia Sophia. I thought we'd take a walk after dinner to kind of catch up. Um, if you check my Instagram, you'll see. Oh, my brother, I gotta go. Cigarilla? Yo, only because today in Egypt, I bought.
You're in and
Yeah,
out, but now
Am I back
it's
and forth,
working.
back and forth?
Like
Is
Jack the
this
it
better?
Ripper.
was, but now it seems to be a lot
It's
better
working.
than initially.
Well, that's because I'm on the. This is the hotel I'm staying at. The Saint Sophia, and so like I'm passing by there, and so I got on their Wi-Fi. So maybe that's why I have such good service. But yo, it happens to be super. Do you see the
Yeah,
Hagia
what
Oh
is
yeah,
that?
Sophia?
now.
Okay, I don't know how close I can get to it,
What is
but
it,
we're
bro?
gonna try
I
it.
still don't know what it is.
Okay, so what is the Hagia Sophia? The Hagia. So now, I did a little bit of research on the Hagia Sophia. I couldn't get my hands on any literature about it, but I've been talking to people, and I checked it out on Wikipedia, and I was able to build a little bit of an understanding about what this place is. The Hagia Sophia, Rabbosai, was built in the 500s by Justinian the First. Now, Justinian the First is an important character in the shiabud, in the Roman Empire. Um, I don't know if the empire was united under Justinian, or it was only the Eastern Roman Empire, but they called it. This was called Constantinople. The Roman Empire. I think the guy's name was Diocletian, who like split the empires. But I'm bliving fair. I'm not 100% sure. Um, and so we split the empires, and we know that. So this was like a church for like the Eastern or the Eastern. It's the central church in Eastern Orthodoxy. Now, if that was Scotty who just came in, oh, it was Scotty Gregorovich. Scotty can
Yeah,
definitely tell more or give us
what's
a better
up?
understanding of the difference between the Eastern and Western Roman empires. What I could say is that I don't know what the difference is between them, and I don't know why they split up, but I think it was called the Great Schism. And um,
So in 1054, you had the Great Schism in Constantinople, modern day Istanbul. Um, this was over a power struggle, and essentially, the church in Rome told that all the churches in Constantinople had to close down, that their priests weren't legit, their bishops weren't legit, and they weren't recognized by the bishop in Rome. And their response was, okay, we're just going to have our own right. And so that was the initial
yeah, but the
split.
split between the Roman Empire, yeah, the Great Schism was something else, because the split between the Roman, Western, and Eastern Roman empires was way before the 10 whatever, right, Scott?
I'm not really too sure on that era of history for the Roman split between the East and the West. I just know that the Roman Empire took maybe 400, 500 years to actually fall from its peak. It just wasn't something that just dissolved overnight. It took a while.
Yeah, took a minute. Um, so I'm circling. I want to see if I can get into the Hagia. So, anyways, but I do know that in like the 1200s, the Fourth Crusade, I read on Wikipedia, that's that source. So the Fourth Crusade, they actually came in. The Western Roman Empire, the Crusaders, came in and like took over took over the Hagia Sophia, and they did some things, and that might have something to do with like the Great Schism. We know there was fighting between the two Roman empires. Yo, whoa! Look at this place. You guys see?
It sounds like there's we have to look into whether there was like some sort of rebellion against the shiabud, that they split like that. You know, what was going on? What was the real ichor of the split? You know?
Yeah, we gotta say pshat. Great Nakuda Shleg. We gotta say pshat on what the Eastern Roman Empire and Western Roman Empire, what were they fighting over? It's definitely very, very apropos to the sugya of the shiabud. And then in like the 1400s, the Ottomans came in, and the guy by the name of Mehmed the Conqueror. Whoa! You guys, look at this building. We only saw it from the back. You guys see?
Yeah.
You seen this? You heard about this?
Seen, heard,
Make
David.
it bigger.
Seen? Heard?
Hold on, go. I'm gonna put it like full screen so we can see it. Oh wow, yeah.
Oh, they got an obelisk
And
over
so
there.
when Mehmed the Conqueror, when he came in, he turned this place into a mosque for a long time. And it was a mosque, I think, until 1935. And in 1935, when they call it the Secular Republic of Turkey was founded, so then it became just like, I don't know, a museum or something. But we got, like, first of all, it's like breathtaking. This is like an unbelievable building. I don't know if we're gonna be able to go inside of it. I guess I can try to check if the door is open. I mean, come on, I'm not gonna check. I mean, I'm all the way in Constantinople. I'm not gonna check if the door is open.
Go for it, bro.
But you know, and then we'll do a little bit of chazah about yesterday's pyramid shteig.
Awesome.
Should I knock? Could you imagine if someone opens the door? I'll fucking run as fast as possible. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, Zak the Heilige Gemara, the Heilige Hagia Sophia Gemara. So what does Hagia Sophia mean? So I have two pshatim that I've come across. The first explanation of Hagia Sophia that I heard is that Hagia means higher, like from like the lashon of like from like the high, like hech, like hecher, right? You guys can see, like, if you know the Yiddish or the German for higher, which is hecher, and then we can see how the cha becomes a ga in a different language.
Wow.
We can understand that etymological calc. Shteig, spell calc.
C-A-U-L-K. Call.
C-A-U-L-Q-U-E, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but listen.
Ooh.
Wait, I should ask Patrice. Patrice is also a great speller. We got two great spellers in the chat.
Yeah, we were
Two great
talking about
spellers.
like a spelling bee one time or something.
Yeah, we definitely spoke about spelling bees. So, anyways, we're circling the Hagia. We'll say lo nim v'lo neched be'amai ve'ein sarid v'megurav. And we'll learn some Gemara. So yesterday, I think we did a great job of blibing Shver and saying, "Wow, I do
Yeah.
not know what the Gemara is talking about," and that itself is a great accomplishment. You know, it's not easy to say like that you have no idea what's going on. Everyone wants to say, like, "Oh, I know Pshat." I didn't know Pshat yesterday, so today I sat on the
It's the
plane.
best thing to say you don't know if you don't know,
Ah.
rather than pretending to know.
100%, Patrice. I always say, if you say I don't know, if you answer that to every question, then you're never wrong. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I went and I sat on the plane a little bit, and I think I got a little bit more clarity on this very difficult Gemara. But if we take a look at the page, we see how much Rashi there is. And Rashi is this guy on the side over here. And we see how much Rashi there is. And when Rashi writes a lot, you know that the Gemara is not simple. You know? Nicht Pashut, as they say in Yeshivish. Okay. But we could do it. So just to give a little bit of Chazar, we talked about there were two different things that we were counting. Right? First we were counting the years of the second temple and who was in control. That was like already 2 classes ago. And then they were counting like, okay, the world's gonna be 6,000 years. But we said we didn't understand. Amar Papa Itai Hatana, like if the Tana makes a mistake, the Lo Yada Prati, and we say doesn't know like the Prati, so we didn't really know Pshat in that word. But what Prati means, Rashi explains, is that it's not going to make a mistake.
So, like, he's talking about trust in the Lord, and just it reminds me of the story of Daniel and the lion's den. Just not really knowing what's going on, but just having total faith that
Okay,
everything's gonna work out.
he's back. I can't hear. Yo, we can't hear you.
I'm just trying to understand which part you're talking about.
Yo, you guys hear
Like
me?
about like when
Yeah,
Eastern
yeah.
and Western.
Yeah, we got it. He said, by the way, there's a mosque that I just tried to enter while it was paused, and I got like kind of yelled at. But
All right.
listen, great. I love it.
Maybe you should
So-
try to find a place where you can stay and keep the connection stable. So, because
Yeah,
we're
I'm going
in
there.
a-
I'm going there. There's just like a little walk on the way to get there. So like, I'm like, okay, like,
We're with you.
walk.
We're with you,
Look
bro.
at this unpenetrable gate that they have.
I'll
Can you hear
edit
me?
all the frozen parts out. Yeah, I'll edit out all the like frozen parts.
Yeah. Shkayach. I have faith in your editing skills, my bro. Okay. So
And we're back.
And we're clicking clank. Yo, marhaba. So here's the question. Did you guys hear me talk about the Gemara a little bit?
The
The
last
last
thing
thing
I
you were
remember you
talking
saying
about was
was
Rashi.
Was what?
Rashi.
Rashi.
Rafi?
Rashi.
Rafi?
Rashi. And how he wants us to be happy.
Who wants us to be happy? God?
Or well, you were saying something about Rashi was saying it need to be happy.
Rafi?
Rashi.
Oh,
The
Rashi, the Heilige Rashi.
Hela Rashi.
No, so what I was saying about Rashi was that when Rashi talks a lot on the page, it means that it's not simple. But of course, Rashi, a prominent flat earther, wants us to be happy. So we were saying that there's different counts. We said that that the Sofrim, they count from the beginning of the Greek Empire for some reason, and the Gemara, like when they're counting, they count from the beginning of the Chorban of the destruction of the temple. And so there are different counts, and if you add 20 years or subtract 20 years, if you forget like the specifics, like you could just ask the document writer, and add 20 years, or if the document writer forgets, he can just ask the rabbis and then subtract 20 years from his total count. Very strange, very mudna Gemara. And the next part of the Gemara, when it deals with 6,000 years, so they have another like similar count, and they talk. Okay, great.
Yeah,
So
now it's good. Now it's good.
we have completed a circle around the Hagia Sophia. We said lonin v'loneched be'amai ve'ein sarid b'megurav, and we still and we still have to do a lot of research and figure out what's really going on with it. But but now we finished that, and now we can focus on the next part of the Gemara. Everyone can hear? Everything's G?
Yeah, everything's good.
Okay. Amar Rav Huna. So now the Gemara is going to continue on with us and to talk about difficulties in count and in making. I might have gone too far. Hold on, let me stay in the hotel area. Perfect. We got nice lights, but it's all wet. Okay. You can hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You can hear me? All right.
Yes, sir.
So now in the dark, we're in the dark over here. But we can kind of see, this is how Torah used to be learned. Torah used to be learned like by candlelight, And by the way, like in places like Turkey, there were big rabbis and big Torah was learned here. So I'm happy that we get to bring some Torah back. We're on Avodah Zarah, Daf Tes Amud Beis right now. Amar Rav Huna. So Rav Huna says, Bereider Rabbi Yoshua, the son of Rabbi Yoshua, Haman de lo yada kama shani b'shavua hu omeid. So he doesn't know what year. He doesn't know what year is shmita, or he doesn't know what year of Yovel or shmita he's counting. Yovel is like every 7 years we can't work the land, and every 50 years all of the ancestral lands go back to the people who they were originally given to, with a few exceptions, and also all the slaves are freed. Okay, all of the Eved Ivri, whatever. So if he doesn't know what year it is, Nitzvi Chad Shata, he should add 1 year. V'nachshov klali b'yovel uprati b'shavui. And it says v'nishgal mimeya trey v'nishdi aprati v'nachshuvinhu leprati b'shavua v'yada kamishne shavua. And then you'll know. So this is like the way that we can figure out what year of the Yovel, of the Shemitah cycle and of the Yovel cycle it is. Okay, hold on. We're going to do the Rashis, but I got to go really close to this light over here. I'm like a moth. Okay.
Like I'm off to a flame.
I'm like a miggity over here. Al Shnin de Michorban Va'ad Shu Omed Ba. So you count like from the time of the destruction of the temple until the year that he's standing on, that he's like in. Mehai Daima Titania Megagulin Schus La Adam Zakai. The Chova La Adam Chayev. So a guy whose name is Zachary, no, I'm kidding. A guy who's like meritorious, we give him schos, and the guy who's like notorious, so we give him we say like, okay, this guy's probably guilty. Um, Tishacharva Bayis Barishona. So when the first temple was destroyed, maybe Motzei Shabbos Haya. It was the year after Shmita. Umotzei Shvius Haya. Oh no, so it was Saturday night, and it was Motzei Shvius, and it was right after Shvius Haya. The Tisha B'av Haya, and it was Tisha B'av. V'chein b'Shnia, and the same thing with the second temple. Alma, we see Shata de Chorban Atchalsa de Shmita. So it's the beginning of a Shmita cycle. Lemihader Avos. Lemandamani the Shnei Chorban. And so the Tana and the rabbis, who they count to the years of the destruction of the temple, Lo Mani La'ishata. They don't count that year. Bahadi Shani de Chorban. With the years of the Chorban. Ella Bahadi Shani de Kambesa. So they consider it like part of the year up until Tisha B'av. They consider it as part of the year that the temple, like that, as one of the years the temple was still around. Hoyel v'nafak le'ruba, because they still had the majority of that year to come Besa, right? Wait, hold on. That's the Bahani. Hold on. Ruba v'tishra hilkach man debay in the mimni shmita losfa l'shnaz korban. So if you're not sure, is this shmita is not your shmita? So just count the years of the korban, add it. Here's the korban. Aminyan sheni the basar korban. Add like calculate it from the years after the korban Beis Hamikdash. Oh, so you have to add. That's what it means. Add 1 year. What does it mean that you add 1 year? It means that you count that first year, even though it was really counted as one of the years that the Beis Hamikdash was still built, because most of the year it was built. But for Shmita, if you're trying to calculate Shmita, so then you count that year as well. The next of Klali be Yovel, who brought this so count the hundreds for Yovel. Be Yovli, right? Stay Yovlos Lamea. So the Gemara is saying you can do it easy. Yovel is every 50 years, so 2 Yovels is in a century, right? V'yada Kameshnei Shani B'Shavua, and then you can figure out, like, and you can cheshbon out how many years was in the, like, what year of the Shemitah cycle are. And the siman is Kizesh Natayim Harav B'Kerav Haaretz, and that's the sign that they quote that random pasuk in, I want to say, Dvarim. Okay. Amar Rav Chanina, Achar Arba Meos L'Chorban Abayis, after 400 years to the destruction. Oh, another big Rashi over here. On. The Siman Loti Avid Garabanan Elik Rabbi Yehuda the Mishkal Tarte Shani Mikomea Kidesh Shnatayim Kidesh Shnatayim. Okay, and there's a Rashi over there. Okay, another. This is we're still in these mathematics calculations of the years, which is actually pretty apropos. We're in Egypt, we're in Turkey, and we're like they're talking about like history, you know. So it's pretty cool that we're learning these Gemaras, but they're very complicated because, like, when am I a mathematician? I like Gemara because I don't like math. No, I'm kidding. There's a lot of math in Gemara. Sometimes. Anywho, Amar of Chanina. So after 400 years to the Chorban, Im Yomer Lecha Adam, if a person says to you, Kach Sadeh Shava Elef Dinarim B'Dinar Echad, take this field that is 1,000 dinars and take it for only 1 dinar, Lo Tikach, you shouldn't take it. Says Rashi, Shehi Ketza Geula, ותקבץ להר הקודש לנחת אבותיך ולמד תפסיד הדינר. So very interesting. He's saying that Rav Chanina is telling us that if 400 years go by after the destruction of the Beis HaMikdash, right, which much more has gone by already, but he's saying if 400 years go by to the destruction of the Beis HaMikdash, and someone says, "Yo, I have this field worth $1,000 for you," and all you do is give me 1 dinar, right? He says, "Don't take it." Why not? Why shouldn't you take it? Because why shouldn't you take it? Because it it that's going to be the end of the Geula already, which we missed. Rabbi Chanina thought it was the end of the Geula, but we were not meritorious enough that should be the end of the end of the Galus. And so, but he says, why should you lose that dinar, right? So we know that a lot of people talk about, well, when is the end of days going to get here? And there's a bunch of opinions, a bunch of differing opinions in the Gemara. And Rav Chanina apparently holds that it's going to be 400 years after the destruction of the temple. What was 400 years after the destruction of the temple? Was that around the time that the Hagia Sophia was built in like the 500s?
Interesting question.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's about around that time. It's interesting, but I don't know. But he's saying don't buy the field because you're just going to throw away the dollar. Classic Jewish rabbi trying to get a good deal. So he says, don't take it. B'masnisa tana, in a brayso we say, Achar arbas alafim v'matayim v'shloshim v'achar shana l'brias olam. After 4,231 years after the creation, right now it's about to be Rosh Hashanah, and that's going to be what do we say, 5783. And so we're a little bit past this also. But in the Brisa, it says after that year, if a person says, take this field, so so you shouldn't buy it. So Rashi says like this. Mazniza Tafia Slashnin added 3 years. So the Cheshbon of the Brisa, it's going to be 3 years longer than what we just said. We said above. After 172 years after the Chorban, it will be 4,000 years from creation. I don't know about that. Hosiv Aleim, and then you have the end of days after 43 years to the Chorban. And Rabbi Chanina, he said 400, not 400, and and Rashi says when Rabbi Chanina said this, that was 400 years and there's Geula. It wasn't at the 400 mark yet, but Rashi was after the 400 mark. 400 from the destruction of the temple. Okay. Hahishtara dahavakasiv ba shishnin yisirsa. So you have a document that it was written, like for example, the document was written the year was 2028. It's like it's written. Oh yeah, this guy like Reuven borrowed money from Shimon on January 1st, 2028, and we found it this year, right? So Savar Rabbanon Kamei Lerav Kamei Derav. So the rabbis were arguing, and they were discussing what is the law of this document. So they thought to say in front of Rav Haishtar Me'ucharu. He said this is a document that was pushed away. Someone made a deal, and he gave him like, listen, I won't collect the money from you for 6 years. And anyone who buys that field within 6 years is not going to have a lien on his property. Because the time that we did the sale was actually before it says on the document, right? Once it says the document says the time, anyone who buys that field afterwards, someone who is if that he's in debt to can theoretically collect the field if the guy defaults on his debt. So if you make the shtar milchar, you make it late, and you write 6 years later. So then it's like okay, fine, I'll make you a deal, and like you can still for the next 6 years, none of my debtors can get it from you, right? So just like this. So that's what Shtam Ucharu Ne'akva Ad Demati Yezman Lo Tarif. When the time comes, they weren't going to be able to collect the lien if they had a lien. Amar Rav Nachman. So Rav Nachman says, "Oh, Rav Nachman, Scotty, me and you are going to see Rebbe Nachman. Rebbe Nachman lived about 2,000 years after Rav Nachman. But we're going to see Rebbe Nachman in Uman. But this is Rav Nachman, the Heliga Amira. And so Amar Rav Nachman, Hai Safra Dukna Kasve. No, the person who writes the document is very medayik. He's very careful that he write it. So what is he writing from the future? The Hachshishnin, those 6 years in the future, the Malchu Be'ilam, the Anan Lo Chashvinan Lehu, Kachashivle. So we said I might have clarified this during some of the times that we were not connected, but we said that the people who write the documents, they don't count years from the end of the end of the Beis Hamikdash, from the destruction of the temple. They count years from the from the from the beginning of the Greek Empire. Very modern, very strange, right? But that's what it says. They count years from the beginning of the Greek Empire. Okay, but they also said he said, well, wait a second. They started in year 34 to the temple, but they count from year 40. What about those 6 years? So the Gemara explained that those 6 years they were still like ruling, but they were ruling in secrecy. Like it wasn't clear. It wasn't publicized that they were the ones in charge, the Greeks. And so the first, if we see something that's 6, you guys with me?
Yeah, now it was starting to
Can you hear
break
me?
up a little bit.
Okay, so the first opinion was that a lien shouldn't be on the field. Second opinion is that no, the person writing the document is just super careful, and he counted those 6 years that they were secret, that we don't count, but he counted it. The Tanya Rabbi Yossi Omer, because it says in the Bryce, Rabbi Yossi says, Sheish Shanim Malchu Be'ilam. 6 years they were the Greeks empire, the Greek Empire was ruling in secret and in silence and in right in hidden in the shadows, and afterwards, their kingship extended for the entire world. And we are on Daf Yud Amud Aleph. So we did another Amud. Me and Patricia were trying to make a cheshbon how many shiurim we did on Avodah Zarah so far. And we think this was class number
21.
21.
It should be.
Unreal.
Wow,
Unreal.
that's
Okay,
awesome.
guys. So the Hagia Sophia, we learned some history of the Gemara, some history of the shiabud, which is exactly what we are doing now. We are trying to figure it out. We are walking in the footsteps of our forefathers, of the Halig Tanaim and Namoraim, and we are walking in the footsteps of our forefathers, the Rishonim and the Achronim who lived in Turkey and learned Torah here by candlelight. And we were learning with this candlelight to see the Halig Gemara. Much love, guys. Hopefully, next year we will be in Uman in Yirtzeh Hashem.
Nice. Let's go. Smart,
Beli
bro.
Neder. Beli Neder. Could be Erev Rosh Hashanah. Much love. I want to
Much love.
invite everyone in the and everyone that's listening at home here. A good bench your a year full of happiness and health and growth, and a year where we grow closer to our freedom and to our redemption.
Amen.
Amen.
That is my blessing to all of y'all, and
Same to
much
you, my
love.
bro.
And hope to see you. Maybe we'll have one more share in this year, and we're gonna go strong in the year 5,783 from the creation, and we're gonna reveal a lot of
Amen.
secrets and spread a lot of truth. Piggity peace.
Amen.
Nice.
Super chill.
Peace. Much love,
Much
everyone.
love.
For
Third
chill.
base. I make that
Is the
biggity build it.
resistance.
Yeah,
Amen,
super
bro.
chill is the resistance. That's right, Patricia O'Neill. All right, piggity peace, guys. Ouchie.
Ouch. Yeah, good stuff, brother. Save that. Save that out there.